Welcome to my travel vlog where I spent way too many hours on airplanes and an overnight in Atlanta that we didn't expect. But here's the project I started working on. Well, I had been working on it for weeks, the Ruby by the Sea Tunisian shawl that you may have heard me talk about in the 5-Minute Crochet Podcast in the mornings. But I was hoping to finish it up on the plane on our way to Lucerne, Switzerland. It took us an extra day, but we arrived in Lucerne, Switzerland. Here's some Swiss water on the plane, which delighted me. And finally to Lucerne. We traveled during the crash of the internet thing that happened to most airlines, and we ended up quite delayed and losing a day in Lucerne. But one day was really gorgeous. The one day we got a walking tour of the city and saw many sights and sounds of Lake Lucerne, and it was just really gorgeous. Here is a funicular, I think it is called. It was a train car that went straight up the mountain, and then at the top of a plateau was a restaurant where we could overlook Lake Lucerne and all its beauty from halfway up. And here's the view for the two of us. Here's a view down at the bottom. The water was moving really fast along the canals and the bustling city, mostly of walking, people biking, people in the harbor, sitting along the water. Very, very relaxed, even though it was, I think, a Wednesday. This great walking bridge. Very, very moody skies. Quite gorgeous. So they had misplaced our luggage, and so here's my H&M travel uniform that I wore for 4 days until our luggage finally arrived. I promise I'll get to some crochet, but lots of gorgeous sights to see along the way. This is a cable car up the side of the mountain, and we rode in that cable car, and we rode on the inside on the way up the mountain. And there's a spot to be on the top of the cable car on the way down. We were able to see that. So really, really gorgeous. And the view changed minute by minute as the clouds swirled around us at the top. Also at the top, I think this was Mount Pilatus. They had this little sanctuary for these fuzzy little rodents called marmots, which looked kind of like beavers. This one was shy, but I was delighted nonetheless because I love animals. I don't remember if that's the top. That is definitely the top. And we got to see Lake Lucerne from there. At the top, we had some more water, which I love. And here's some chairs. At the bottom of the cable car were a couple of kids who were selling these cherries in a roadside stand. Look how massive they are and perfect. They were almost the size of plums. Absolutely delicious. So those were definitely a treat. We finally made it to our Viking River cruise. And here's our cabin, which was really very perfectly done and had everything you needed in a small space. Our safety drill. Creme brulee. I'm going to show you food along the way. This is bourbon creme brulee, which was very good, but truthfully not as good as Mara's creme brulee. Pain de chocolat, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. This is our boat, so it was a long boat on the river, not a cruise ship. This is us in the Black Forest of Germany. Another H&M wardrobe since I had to buy some clothes quickly. A little waterfall in the Black Forest. And I'm showing you all of these things because I have still not found anything crochet along our journey. I thought this was so cool. It was just a trick of the light that I saw through my camera lens, so I had to grab the little rainbow over Tom's shoulder. The Black Forest, just from a distance. And in the Black Forest was this little, I wouldn't call it a town, but cluster of artisans. And so we got to see a blown glass making demonstration, and there's a cuckoo clock making demonstration. And let's see what's next. Okay, this is the glass blowing guy who was working on the glass, and the cuckoo clock little building, and the Black Forest cake demonstration. You know, I had a front row seat for that, and I couldn't resist trying it. Back on the ship, we had these lovely little dishes at the appetizer for every meal. I forget where this was. Is this Cologne, Germany? You might know. Oh, we have to stop here. Finally, some crochet. I believe this is in Strasbourg, France, on these horses. Adorable. Strasbourg, France, I believe. It all began to run together after some time. Gorgeous morning before all the tourists arrived. We went on a walking tour. So pretty. Okay, a little crochet in the window. I remember seeing several of these in Paris too a couple years ago. The dream catchers. And I don't know why this picture's in there. The juice was good. This is us on one of the dinners when I finally got my clothes back. I know I probably keep calling it a ship, but it was a low flat boat. And we went through many locks on the Rhine River, and this is one of them from the upper deck. So pretty. Oh, these crocks were gorgeous and so artistic. I guess you would call them a Dutch oven, but each one was intricately designed, and if I had room for something that heavy in my carry-on, I probably would have purchased one and brought it back. Look how massive these meringues are. They're every bit of the size of a man's hand. Very, very big meringues. And macarons, all the different colors and flavors. More meringues. Love looking at the pastries and the buildings, of course. And finally, a yarn store. Yay! Here's the view from the top of one of the churches that we climbed up. More pastries. Love all the colors. And then back to the yarn store after the walking tour when I could actually go in and shop around. This store had a lot of yarn in the basement, and then you could tell them what you wanted. The yarn came on big cones, and you could tell them how much yarn you wanted, and it told you the price per ounce or per gram there, rather. 2.1 pounds per gram, 1.28 pounds per gram. And then they would wind it for you according to how much you wanted in terms of weight. And then you had to do some math, which I did poorly. So I ended up spending more money than I had planned to. But here's some books in the yarn store and little crochet swatches for some of the yarn. Books in French. I was hoping to find my book. But even though my book, Go Crochet Afghan Design Workbook, was translated to French, that was many years ago. Finally, someone wearing crochet, and this looks so much like a Doris Chan design. And I didn't get to get a closer look, but as I zoom in on the photo, there's a seam there along the back, which is very odd. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Of course, crochet is handmade, but it's got kind of a sewn look to it in panels. Some gorgeous and inspiring fruit. Another yarn store and some little projects in the window. Little amigurumi walrus there and some yarn. See if I can get a better look of this one. Okay. Just a tote bag, which would come in handy for the fruit market, maybe, or the vegetable markets that we see. From a distance, I thought this was a yarn store, but it's a pet store and pet toys, but there was some crochet here for a pet toy. And this travel pillow was inspiring because I love giraffes. And I thought, maybe I should make that out of crochet. A display in another yarn store. This granny jacket, boho style, and all the beautiful crochet next to it. This was, I believe, a Fildar store, so the yarn was fairly expensive, and I have seen it before at the National Needle Arts Association years ago, and it can be bought in some stores. Okay, this was just a photo off my phone. Oh, some home decor, which is kind of interesting and might be good for crochet. These little baskets have a knit, I assume it's knit garter stitch appearance, with a little bit of a seam there, it appears. Some intricate floors in some churches, because I love that, especially with the crochet motifs that I love to do. I love looking at little mosaic and modular unit things. So again, here's what looks like crochet, and then when I blow up the photo closer and closer and closer, there's these odd seams. So I'm not sure what's going on there, and then it doesn't look like crochet after all. I can't zoom in anymore, but then it started to look more like tatted lace perhaps than crochet. So working on my project on the boat when I had some time. Now some little pretty and interesting little sights in Germany. Fancy water bottle in Germany. Just an interesting play of light in my water glass. Oh, this man on our trip was wearing what appeared to be a crochet shirt until I asked him if I could take a photo. And as you look closer, it maybe isn't crochet. It has a very knit quality to it when you look in the two inner rounds. I'll let you just look at this for a moment because it's very intriguing, but does not really look like crochet. So I don't know what it is, do you? Interesting views of castles and turrets. This is a medieval castle that we toured. Tapestry on the wall of the medieval castle. Oh, a knitted handbag. Very cute, and doesn't look like it's lined. More yummy food on the boat. The chef was really, really good. I think there was only one meal that I didn't absolutely love. Tom and I on the boat, the golden hour. Oh, there was a wedding on like a Tuesday morning. I didn't want to get any closer to this little reception and intrude, but I couldn't help but see this little sight as adorable with her talking to her little flower girls. I'm pretty sure this is Cologne, Germany. The earlier Germany, I think, may have been Speyer. I'm confused. I have to look at the data on my phone. Such gorgeous churches. Love the stained glass. I love the intricate mosaic floors and designs on the floors. Tom and I. More yummy food. Very yummy stuff. Chocolate volcano cake. Gotta love that. Okay, our boat and whatever city we were in at the moment. Oh, here's another one. Here's another sweater that looks crochet from a distance. And then when you get up closer to it, it doesn't look crochet. It's almost like it's knit or lace made to look like crochet and then sewn together. We made it up to the Netherlands and toured windmills. So cool. And made lots of friends. And here's our last dinner. Good night. Some exotic food. A gorgeous bridge in the Netherlands as we approached our destination. Oh, this was back in Cologne, Germany. There were little parrots. I had to take a picture of my screen. And then in the Netherlands, there were cows on the beach along the river. Sorry about the blurry picture. I took a photo with my good camera, and then I had to take a picture of my computer screen to get it on here. Oh, Tom thought he was going to put some, additive to his water, and it all bubbled up like a volcano and spilled half of it. I enjoyed watching the local people play with their animals, especially this, I think, blonde German Shepherd, which I had to look at because my grandpa, when I was growing up, had a blonde German Shepherd or a dog that looked like this that I assumed was a blonde German Shepherd. And her name was Greta, so I enjoyed seeing this dog. There's a windmill in the Netherlands up close. We got to walk through it and tour, which was really cool. This little park had, I don't know if it was a park, but this little section had like a dozen windmills that we walked past.
Hobie a gift.
Oh, and I had to bring home a little gift for Hobie. He loves water bottles, and so this was his expensive gift. It was actually a little water bottle that I got on the plane on the way to Zurich.
That's a new one.
And so he didn't know what to do with the little square water bottle, but quickly figured it out and took it away to play with. And that's my travel vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish there had been more crochet.